Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited. John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose. The man who rules the world runs into the irresistible force of a man with nothing to lose in this action-packed, all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get the regular and variant editions of John Haynes, the man with nothing to lose on Amazon.com today. A Florida man was arrested for allegedly pulling a gun on a barber for pushing his hairline too far back.
We have new details tonight after a violent attack inside a barber shop. The suspect now behind bars, accused of threatening another man with a gun. Local 10's Brett Neese is live in West Miami-Dade with the charges he's now facing.
Janice, this suspect, his arrest form has a lot of details in it, and we're learning a lot about him, his past, and what his record shows. He is a known violent offender. That is what that arrest form listed him as. He has been convicted of previous felonies, and now he's facing even more. Darius Davis is in jail once again after police spent a few days looking for him following a violent encounter at a barber shop. Security video from that day shows Davis walking back into Square Biz with a gun and threatening the owner, Samuel Wilson. Wilson says this was all over an issue with Davis's hairline. The barber says he's been doing Davis's hair for a while and never had an issue before.
He wasn't a man till he had that pistol in his hand. Slapped me in the head with it, choked me out. You got it.
In the video, you can see Davis force Wilson to the couch and hit him with the gun. Newly obtained arrest forms for Davis show police took him into custody a few days later after a traffic stop. The 48-year-old was booked into jail before appearing in bond court over the weekend multiple times.
I did not think he was going to come around here and come back. I thought we might have fisticuffed, but I didn't think he was going to come back with a firearm. I told him, man, have a good day. So Davis is facing several charges. The judge set his bond at about $35,000. He has since posted it, according to records. Live in West Miami-Dade, Brett Neese, Local 10 News.
Now, in this alleged incident that took place in Miami-Dade County, Florida, 48-year-old Darius Davis was getting a haircut. And as he was getting this haircut, he was becoming extremely frustrated about the way his hairline was being cut. And as he got more and more angry about the way his hairline was being cut, he simmered and boiled in anger, then left the shop and came back with a gun. And as he came back to the Square Biz barbershop with this gun, he then looked to go out and physically assault the owner of the Square Biz barbershop and looked to choke him out as he was upset about this hairline. And eventually, after participating in this violent incident, then wound up leaving the shop that he had been getting his hair cut for a year. And eventually, police wound up arresting Darius Davis at a traffic stop. And after they arrested him on other charges, they then booked him on charges of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And now he is in the Midwest Detention Center in custody right now. Now, the police in Miami-Dade, Florida, are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the behavior of Darius Davis as related to this alleged latest incident, it definitely fits the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that Darius Davis had a serious issue with being able to navigate through his emotions, and he also had a serious issue with self-control because his response to his hairline not being cut the way he wanted basically showed that how this man really had no understanding of how to go out here and problem solve as related to a situation. Now, Darius Davis was allegedly upset about the way his hairline was being cut But when I look at this man who's 48 years old, maybe this man just didn't understand how old he was getting. And usually when it comes down to older men, our hairline does go back, and there's nothing we can do about it, or what barbers can do about it, because this is just the way God has made us to age. But this male, because he didn't understand that life changes, basically wound up losing control over himself, and acting impulsively, even though this man already had multiple arrests and convictions for crimes in the past and had done time in jail. He decided to escalate this situation over a haircut into a major crime, because he was basically upset, not about the hairline as related to the barber, but I believe he was basically upset about the fact that he was aging and life was changing, because this is something that many beta males have a problem with. Many beta males have a problem with the fact that they are getting older, and as they see themselves getting older, this is what makes them want to go out here and lash out like a child, because what children do is they look to blame the adult in the room for things going on with them, and that's basically what happened here at the Square Biz Barbershop, where this guy Darius Davis basically lost it because he wound up seeing himself getting older, and as he saw himself getting older, this is where he decided to go out here and take it out on this barber and the owner of this barbershop, and basically look to bring this gun here and then slap the man with it, then choke him out over something he basically had no control over as related to things. But sadly, as this guy Darius Davis was growing older, he sadly shows us how he has not grown up, because this was not his first time being arrested. No, he has been arrested in the past for cocaine possession and was convicted for cocaine possession in 1993, was convicted for robbery in 1993 and 1998, and burglary with assault in 1998, and did time in prison from 1999 to 2004, and also did prison time from 2006 to 2017. And sadly, he hasn't learned anything in the time that he was in prison, hasn't learned a single thing from the time he was in prison, where he basically was in the joint under the authority of the CEOs and under dealing with the social pecking order of Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, and Mr. Sprinkles. No, it didn't seem like this man has learned anything in the time where he was basically in that penitentiary, possibly being traded for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, off-brand lemon lime drink, off-brand grape drink, off-brand fruit punch, off-brand apple juice, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt's snack pack puddings, beef summer sausage, beef jerky with cheese, Fritos chips, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pies, packets of soy sauce, packets of sriracha sauce, packets of cheese, packets of honey mustard, Velveeta cheese, Velveeta shells and cheese. Basically, he had learned nothing in the time that he had been being turned out 2 times in prison, and sadly came back out of the joint basically about 7-8 years on the streets, and basically is going back to the penitentiary, where he'll have to again save up a whole bunch of money, working 10 cents to $1 an hour in order to get a haircut. And basically, he ain't going to be able to argue with them barbers inside of the penitentiary, because basically there's going to be under the CEOs. And sadly, what's going to happen to dude is he's going to find out that his hairline is going to go even further back inside of that penitentiary, and that's where this Darius Davis will lament losing his freedom for the third time, because again, having that firearm in and of itself possibly going to put some years back on his sentence, and he possibly won't be getting out of jail until that hairline is pushed back and that hair is basically gray at that point. That's sadly what's going to happen to this guy, because he didn't know how to navigate through his emotions, didn't know how to navigate through his emotions about getting older and life changing, because that's something I myself had to deal with when I went to the barber a couple of times. I mean, yeah, I know that I'm getting older, and I know that, again, sometimes your hairline ain't gonna be the same when it was when you were 20 or 25. No, you were a 48-year-old man, and again, a 48-year-old man's hairline ain't gonna be the same. But this guy basically, again, turned this incident of aging that he basically became aware of into a felony crime that led to him basically losing his freedom in his older age, and possibly this man won't get out of jail until he's in his 60s, where he will be an old gray-headed man. And again, sadly, this old gray-headed man, sadly, as he's growing older, sadly has not grown up. And that's the saddest part about men in crisis, is that they don't grow up. Sadly, a lot of these beta males still, they may be 48 in the body, but they're still 15, 16 in the mind. And with them being teenagers in the mind, they haven't grown up to a level of maturity to understand how to behave in this world. And that's the saddest part about this whole situation. This guy basically has spent his entire life in and out of jail, and now is going back to jail over a hairline, and now possibly won't get out when he'll be going out of jail without a hairline in about 10, maybe 15 years. And sadly, he again is a textbook example of what happens when you grow old but don't grow up. And again, this is the type of male who basically sadly grows up his whole life not learning how to be a man, but just winds up in a perpetual state of arrested development as a man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about how to identify males like this and how to avoid them, or how to help a male like this in your life, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos talking about the man crisis that's going on in this country, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, eSteam Cancel Vacation. Hell's Aspiring Angel takes on a social justice, social media mob looking to cancel her in this all-new eSteam series adventure. Get eSteam Cancel Vacation in paperback and e-readers today.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere.
Now available, paperback and Kindle Unlimited, ISIS, the main event. It's carnage inside of a steel cage when the goddess next door steps in the squared circle with the beast from the boss in this action-packed all-new ISIS series adventure. Get ISIS, the main event, in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.